Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Avadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhakti Nashtaki. So today being Gaur Poornima, I thought we can discuss some of the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. So instead of a regular Bhagavatam class, let's discuss Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. So as we know, Krishna appears once in a day of Brahma. He appears on the 7th Manu's 28th Dwapar Yuga, the end of 28th Dwapar Yuga. And then he gives his instructions in Bhagavad Gita, and finally he says, Sarvadharman Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Also he says, Manmanabha Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. And then he winds up his pastimes after the battle of Mahabharata, 30 some years later. And then the Kali Yuga starts. And when Kali Yuga starts, especially the Kali Yuga after Krishna leaves. So in that Kali Yuga, although we were reading in Bhagavatam, Sutta Goswami and all the 88,000 sages, they're doing 1,000-year yajna at Namisharanya. But still, Kali Yuga is very, very powerful. And it bewilders everybody. Everybody forgets about real dharma. And then the Brahmins really give up all the dharma and following the rules. They give up, and then Krishna sends Lord Shiva as Shankaracharya. Okay, go at least get them into believing in. No. First he sent. First he came as Lord Buddha. So Lord Buddha came and he said, okay, at least don't follow scriptures, follow me, and don't do this unnecessarily animal killing for sacrifice. Then Krishna sent Lord Shiva as Shankaracharya. And Shankaracharya comes and he tells, no. Don't just neglect the Vedas. Vedas is the foundation of everything. So you got to understand Vedas, but understand Vedas the way I teach you. And he gave his Mayavadi commentaries on the Vedas. And then Krishna sends different Vaishnava acharyas. Ramanujacharya comes and he gives his Vaishnava philosophy, Nimbarkacharya, Madhvacharya, Vishnu Swami. They all came and they established Vaishnava philosophy. But still there was too much tussle between Mayavadi philosophers and the Vaishnava philosophers and their followers. And then Krishna himself comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is a Yuga avatar, and he also comes just like Krishna comes once in a day of Brahma. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also comes once in a day of Brahma in the Kali Yuga following the Dwapar Yuga when Krishna had come. Because Krishna, as I said, Krishna gave that message of become his devotee, but he did not teach how to become his devotee. So Krishna himself comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But the special characteristic of this avatar is, there are many reasons for this incarnation or this avatar or this I won't say avatar because he's avatari, he's Krishna himself, he's not an incarnation. But the special characteristic of him coming in this way, there are many reasons. One is internal and one is external reasons. So external reasons was he wanted to establish this Achintya Bheda Bhed Tattva philosophy. He wanted to give Krishna Prema to everybody by establishing this congregational chanting of the holy names, which is a Yug Dharma for Kali Yuga. But there were internal reasons also. And the internal reason, they came about from in the pastime of Radha and Krishna. When Krishna had left Mathura, Vrindavan, and when Krishna left Vrindavan, went to Mathura, and then from there on he went to Dwarka. So Srimati Radharani and the gopis were in constant separation from him. And many pastimes happened, and one pastime, Gaur Govind Maharaj has explained it very nicely. I don't remember every single detail of that. That Srimati Radharani was displaying anger at Krishna because Krishna was late in meeting her. And then all the gopis, they dressed, not all the gopis, Lalita Vishakha, they told Krishna, if you want to see her, you have to put on the vesh of a sannyasi and come see her, beg her. And then when he took the form of a sannyasi and came to please Srimati Radharani liked that form. And she said, then you have to appear in this form. And also, those who have done Vrindavan Parikrama with us, there is a place called, on the banks of Yamuna, the Vrindavan Parikrama, there is a place called Imli Tala. So Imli Tala, there's a beautiful Gaudiya Math temple there, and there's a tree, tamarind or Imli tree there. And that tree is said is from 5,000 years ago. Not the original, but the tree that is there, it came from the same root of the original tree. So once Radha and Krishna, they were supposed to meet there at Imli Tala. And Krishna somehow, he appeared there earlier than Radharani. He sat under that tree of Imli Tala, and then he just absorbed himself in chanting the names of Srimati Radharani. And he was chanting Radhe, 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 Radhe. And he went into deep meditation. We can only imagine because we go into meditation, we fall asleep. But not Krishna, obviously not. He's Yogeshwara. So he went into deep meditation, and then Radharani came with her Sakhis over there, and she saw Krishna was sitting under that tree, and he was chanting Radharani's name. He was absorbed in the mood of Radharani because name, person, mood, everything is same. And Krishna had taken the form of a beautiful golden colored sannyasi. And Radharani came and she saw that sannyasi sitting there. And first she did not realize who it is, but then she came close and she saw it is Shyam Sundar Krishna chanting the name of Radharani. And then she prayed to Krishna. The Krishna opened his eyes. And he didn't know what form he was in. He was only seeing Radharani. And Radharani asked him that you're going to appear in this form and perform pastimes. So there are many, many other pastimes which induced Krishna to take this form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Of course, this form is eternal in the spiritual world, but these are the pastimes that are the impetus for Krishna to come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Also, when Krishna was going to come as Lord Chaitanya, then Srimati Radharani said, because there are internal reasons, as I said, there are external and internal. External reasons I told. Internal reasons was that Krishna himself is the ashraya of all the love. But Srimati Radharani is the vishaya of all the love. For Krishna, of all the bhakti. So Krishna being the subject of that bhakti, he could not understand the beauty of Radharani's love, the feelings of Radharani's love, the emotions, the happiness she feels when she sees him. And Krishna wanted to taste his own beauty. And the tasting of his own beauty, he realized, can only be done through Radharani's emotions. Otherwise, everybody can relish his Krishna's beauty in a different way, but he wanted to relish it through Radharani's way. So he kind of stole the emotions of Srimati Radharani when he was going to come as in this avatar to taste that love and happiness of Radha's love. But Srimati Radharani said, you have stolen my emotions, but you cannot taste them. You cannot understand them without a guru. You think you can steal and learn anything? No, it's not going to work this way. So she said, I'll also come as, and then she came as Gadadhar Pandit. And also Radharani said that when you descend in this form as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and when you're going to really taste, when you're really going to experience the emotions, my emotions of love for you, and my emotions of happiness when I see you, you won't be able to restrain yourself or contain yourself. Because Srimati Radharani's position is so high that these emotions only she has. And when she goes through these emotions, she just keeps everything hidden inside her because she can control herself. But she said, Krishna, even you won't be able to control yourself. So you'll be falling again and again on the ground when you experience these emotions. So I will cover your body with my body. So that's all. Also, she covered him with her color. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came with the color of Srimati Radharani. See, the emotions, color of the body, they all together. Here in material world, somebody is brown, somebody is black, somebody is white. There's no relationship between the emotions and the color of the skin. Doesn't matter anything. But spiritual world, everything is related. So Srimati Radharani, when she covered him with her body, with her color of the body, then Krishna became as Gauranga. Radharani is Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi. Her body of her color is like molten gold, Tapta Kanchan. And similarly is color of the body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Gauranga. So Gauranga doesn't mean white. It means molten gold color. So with this mood, Krishna appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he appeared in Navadvip in the year 1486 exactly. He appeared in the house of Nilamba Chakravarti, Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi. And before his birth, they had 8 daughters, and they all died one after another. And then they had the son Vishwarupa, and then they had the son Nimai. And when Nimai was born, because when he was little, his name was Nimai. When Nimai was born, that was the day of Poornima, full moon day. But also, that was the day of lunar eclipse. It was Chandragrahan. So 500 some years ago, now people don't even believe that. Not many people believe, some people still believe. So 500 years ago, when there was lunar eclipse, so everybody in Bengal, they were out there in the Ganges or other holy rivers, and they were taking bath over there, and they were chanting the names of Hari, Hari, Hari Bol was going on all over Navdeep. And in the middle of all this, Nimai appeared in the house of Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi. Also behind his appearance was the reason that Advaita Acharya and Haridas Thakur, they were praying fervently to the Lord to appear. Although Advaita Acharya himself is incarnation of Mahavishnu and Sadashiv, and Haridas Thakur is incarnation of Brahmaji. But seeing the condition of the soul of the living entities at that time in Navdeep, they were completely frustrated and bewildered and thinking only Krishna has to appear to bring these people on the path of Dharma. Otherwise, it's not even possible for us to do that. So they were praying fervently for Krishna to appear. And when they, on this day, when they heard everybody was chanting and they had this feeling in their heart that Krishna has appeared somewhere. So Nimai appeared in the house of Sachi Devi, and under this neem tree in Navdeep. And that neem tree is still there. When we go to Mayapur, we can take darshan of that tree. And why under neem tree, or why he was named Nimai? Because there were 8 daughters who had died earlier, and now Shachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra, they were like, they wanted to protect this boy. And there's a saying in Bengal that any ghosts and all these kind of entities, they don't come where there is neem tree. So they just wanted to protect Nimai. And of course, many of the names were given at the time of his birth. Is Nanaji Nilamba Chakravarti, father of Sachi Devi, called him Vishwambar. Vishwambar means one who maintains the whole world, all the population of the whole world. And he was named Gaur Sundar by his father Jagannath Mishra because he was very beautiful, molten gold little boy. And so he appeared there and he started growing. So something he started doing from the very early days, that just like little babies cry, so he would cry. And then Shachi Mata would be bewildered, and whatever Shachi Mata would do, he would not stop crying. And Shachi Mata would get bewildered. Why is he not stop crying? And all the ladies from the neighborhood, they would come. And then somehow some ladies started clapping and chanting the holy name of Krishna, Hare Krishna, or Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And when Nimai heard that, he stopped crying and he started smiling. And then the ladies understood, oh, this is what he wants. So now it would be a festival of crying, and everybody would come and chant and clap. So he was establishing this congregational chanting from very beginning. So when he was little older, he was in the courtyard of Shachi, this house, Shachi Mata's house, and this is that place is a beautiful temple now. It's Yoga Peeth. So Yoga Peeth means where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. So in the courtyard of that house, there was a snake. And Nimai saw that snake, and he just crawled towards the snake, and he grabbed the snake, and he just put him around. And Shachi Mata, she saw that what is Nimai doing, and then all the neighbors also came, and they were in a shock. Now what to do? They didn't want to startle the snake so that he would bite. And it was a big snake, big monstrous serpent. And Nimai was playing with that serpent, and he was laughing, and he was crawling around with the snake coiled around him. And all ladies, they started chanting the name of Garuda, Garuda, Garuda. And when the snake saw everybody was afraid, he just left Nimai and he went away. And Nimai, when the snake was slithering out, Nimai again went after him to catch hold of his tail. But Shachi Mata ran and just got hold of Nimai and let the snake go. Actually, that was Ananta Shesha who had come to serve Nimai. But obviously, Nimai knew who it is, but not everybody understood. And one day, what happened, that Nimai was just crawling, and he would sometimes be on the lap of the ladies, and sometimes he would be dancing and this and that. And one day he just went outside the house crawling, and there were two thieves walking by, and they saw this little boy, very beautiful, wearing lots of gold ornaments. And these thieves, they said, okay, this is the best time to steal all these gold ornaments. But they didn't want to just snatch the gold ornament, because otherwise Nimai would have started crying. So then they just picked him up, put him on their shoulder, and they just ran away from there. And while running, Nimai was laughing. Nimai was happy on the shoulder, and he was like getting a free ride. And when they were going, they were feeding him sandesh after sandesh and saying, okay, take this. And Nimai was eating the sandesh, and he was enjoying the ride on the shoulder of these thieves. And the thieves were running away, so they said, well, let's go to the forest somewhere outside, and then we can steal his jewels. Meanwhile, everybody in the house was worried. Where did Nimai go? Did you see Nimai? Did you see Nimai? And Shachi Devi was bewildered, and Jagannath Mishra was crying. Everybody was amazed. Nimai go, and people were outside looking everywhere for Nimai. And these thieves, they were running. And then Nimai's Yogamaya worked on these thieves. So they went running, and they came in the whole circle, and they came right outside the house of Jagannath Mishra. They didn't realize how they got them there. And now they understood. They saw everybody was looking for Nimai, and they will get into trouble. They just left Nimai over there on the street and ran away. And then people found Nimai, and they asked Nimai, what happened? Where did you go? And he was like, oh, these two people, very nice people, they fed me sandesh, and they took me around, and they brought me back. And then they were all looking for those two people, and they wanted to thank them. But They didn't know they were the thieves, and thieves ran away. Of course, it was Nimai's mercy on those thieves, even though they came with the inclination of stealing the ornaments, but Nimai gave them the mercy. So these kind of pastimes he was playing all the time. One day, a Brahman came to the house of Jagannath Mishra, and this Brahman had a special sankalpa that he would eat only that he himself cooks and feeds his Laddu Gopal. He had a deity of Laddu Gopal. That's what he would eat. Otherwise, he would not eat. Or otherwise, he would just eat some fruits and something. But anything cooked, he had to cook himself and feed to his Laddu Gopal, and then he would eat. So he came to the house of Jagannath Mishra, and Jagannath Mishra said, "Oh, please come." And they all made the arrangement for this Brahman for himself to cook. So they cleaned the kitchen, they gave him all the ingredients. So the Brahman made nice prasadam, rice and dal and sabji and this. And then when he was offering it to his Laddu Gopal, so he just like we do the offering, we bend down, ring the bell, chant the mantras, and when he did that, and as soon as he lifted his head up, he saw Nimai eating the bhoga from the plate. And he was like crying, "Oh, what did you do, oh little boy? You're so naughty. You don't even know what you're doing. Why did you eat from the plate of Laddu Gopal?" And Nimai just laughed at him, smiled at him, and ran out. And then everybody came, and Jagannath Mishra was so upset, and Sachi Mata was upset at Nimai, and Jagannath Mishra wanted to beat up Nimai, and Brahman said, "No, he's just a little boy, he doesn't know, so don't beat him up, don't punish him. Maybe Laddu Gopal doesn't want me to eat anything today. So it's okay, many times it happens, I'll fast." But Jagannath Mishra said, no, you have come to our house. It's a big insult for us. If you don't eat, it'll be a big offense. So please, we're going to make the arrangements again. We're going to clean up the kitchen again, and please cook again. The Brahman said, "It's already late at night and I'm tired. It's okay. I'll just eat some fruits." No, please cook again. So everybody requested Brahman, and Jagannath Mishra said, "Okay." And he asked the girls from the neighbor that, "You please take Nimai away, take to your house and keep him busy so he doesn't come here." So Brahman, again, he cooked everything. And again, when he went down and he was making the offering to his Laddu Gopal, he was ringing the bell, and somehow nobody knew how Nimai again appeared, and he started eating from his plate. And as soon as Brahman lifted his head again, and he saw Nimai smiling at him and eating the bhoga, and Brahman said, "Oh my God, this naughty child again. You're so naughty. You don't know what you're doing. You have spoiled the offering again." Nimai was smiling, and now Jagannath Mishra came, and he was really, really angry at Nimai. What is he doing? And Nimai just ran and went into the lap of Sachi Devi, and Brahman then pleaded Jagannath Mishra, "Please don't hurt him. He's just a little boy. He doesn't know what he's doing." But Jagannath Mishra, he is boy of a Brahman. He should know what he's doing. But Brahman said, "Well, whatever it is, I think my Laddu Gopal doesn't want to eat anything, so it's okay. I'll just have some fruits or some milk, and then I'll go to sleep." But at that time, Vishwarupa, the elder brother of Nimai, came. And Vishwarupa was so charming, so handsome boy. And he came and he asked everybody what happened. And everybody told him 2 times this Brahman has cooked, but Nimai had spoiled his offering. So Vishwarupa begged the Brahman, please cook again. We'll make all the arrangements. And Brahman said, it's already midnight. What's the point in cooking? No, 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 please cook again. And otherwise, we won't be able to eat anything and we won't be able to. This will be a big offense if we don't serve you properly. So now Jagannath Mishra told Sachi Mata, you take Nimai inside the room, inside the house, and lock the door, and you guys go to sleep and let the Brahman cook and make his offering. Let him eat. So again, in the middle of the night, Brahman made the cooking, made again offering. Again, when he picked up his head, and again Nimai was eating, the Brahman was, what are you doing? And he was about to shout, and Nimai said, what do you mean what I'm doing? You're calling me again and again, and I'm coming to accept your offering. What's your problem? Because everybody was dead asleep, so they didn't hear what was going on. So then Nimai gave him darshan of his form as Laddu Gopal. And not just Laddu Gopal, I think he gave him darshan in Shadbhuja form. And when he saw that form, then he was completely satisfied. And the Nimai said, we did the same pastime at the house of Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maya, and you came and you made the offering, and I accepted those offerings. And today also I accepted your offering of bhakti. But now you don't tell anybody who am I, and otherwise you will go crazy. So if you reveal the secret to anybody, and then Nimai left. Nimai went to his mother's bed again and slept with Sachimata. And then this Brahman, he ate that prasadam. We can only imagine that prasadam. And he ate that prasadam, not just ate, he just rubbed it all over his body. He was in complete ecstasy. He was dancing and chanting in the courtyard of Jagannath Mishra, but everybody was sleeping. Nobody could hear him. Nobody could see him. And next morning, he left the house of Jagannath. He wanted to tell who's this Nimai. He's not an ordinary person. He's a supreme personality of God that's sitting in your house. But he remembered the instruction of Krishna and Nimai, and he left. But he did not leave Navadvip. He just remained in Navadvip. And every day, for some reason or other, he would come to the house of Jagannath Mishra to take darshan of Nimai. And then Nimai grew older, and he was put into school. But he was very, very naughty boy. It is said that whatever Krishna, the naughtiness he did, all his stealing butter pastimes and so naughty, Nimai was 1,000 times more naughty than Krishna. And that's why his pastimes 1,000 times sweeter than Krishna's. So what Nimai and his friends would do, that because there was Ganges nearby, and also, Ganges also. I think I told the story of how Ganges came to Navadvip and she went to Ganga Sagar. But Ganga Maya, she had a request to the Supreme Lord. And the request was that Krishna and Gopis and Gopas, they performed so many pastimes in Yamuna. And Krishna and Gopis, they would bathe in Yamuna every day. So in Dwapar Yuga, so Ganges, she went to Krishna and she said, how come I'm bereft of all these beautiful pastimes of yours, of bathing in my waters? You never gave me that mercy. So Krishna said, okay, when I appear as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaur Nimai, then I will bathe in your waters. So to fulfill that prophecy also, so Nimai every day with his friends, he would be jumping and swimming and bathing in the Ganges. But while bathing in the Ganges, what we would also do, there would be Brahmins chanting their Gayatris, and these boys, especially Nimai, he would go underwater and pull on the dhoti of those Brahmins or pull on their um, sacred threads, and or sometimes he would just fill up water in his mouth and spit on all these Brahmins and then run away. And all the Brahmins would be, what is this? You're a son of a Brahmin, and what kind of activities you're doing? You're so naughty, you're so restless. But all the boys would run away and they would be laughing. and these boys, and of course, not these boys, the Brahmins, and sometimes all the girls, the young girls would go to Ganges and they would be deity of Lord Shiva. And they would pray to Lord Shiva to get nice husband. And Nimai would go there and tell them that you give me whatever you have made offering to Shiva, you just give it to me. You have prepared your offering, you give it to me. Feed me. And the girls would complain, they would protest, and Nimai said, if you protest, if you don't give me, actually you don't know my position. I'm the master of the Shiva and Parvati. And the girls will say, what in the world are you talking about, Nimai? They would, oh, you are really restless. And Nimai would say, if you don't give me that offering, I'll curse you, that you will get a husband who would be very, very old. He would already have 3-4 wives and many children, and you will be getting that kind of husband. And the girls would get scared and give him all the bhoga, whatever they were brought. But these were so beautiful. They would come and complain to Shachi Mata, but their complaints would be like just to see Nimai again. Just like gopis would come and complain to Yashoda Maya. So one day after his school, Nimai had again gone to the Ganges and played with his friends. And then one of his boys came and running, and he said, your Baba is coming today and he's very angry and he has a stick in his hand. So many complaints are gone. So you better run home, go home. So Nimai, whichever road Jagannath Mishra was coming, Nimai ran from the other road and he went home. And he went home and he still had the ink spots on his body and on his clothes. And he went home and he still looked dirty. And I give me something to eat. I'm very hungry. And Shachi Mata, your Baba had gone to the Ganges and he got the message that you are at Ganges and doing all this mischiefs. He said, I haven't even been to the Ganges. I just came straight from school. Give me something to eat. I'm going to go to Ganges now to take bath. See, all these Brahmas, they are telling lies. And Shachi Mata would believe him. And then every day, so many. And one day, Nimai took bath at the Ganges and he was coming home with his friends. And they found a beautiful, 3-4 puppies were there on the road. And he picked up the most cute and beautiful puppy. And some of the boys, they were angry. Why? How come you get the best puppy? But anyway, he said, let's go home. We'll all play together with the puppy. So he brought him home, and Shachi Mata saw this, and she said, what? You're a son of a Brahmin. This is house of a Brahmin. You cannot bring dogs in here. But Nimai said, no, it's not a dog. He's my best, very good friend. And we're going to play with him. And while they were playing, these 2-3 boys, they got angry because Nimai was getting all the attention and he was playing more with the puppy. And after a while, Shachi Mata said, okay, you just go to the Ganges, take bath, and lunch is ready. Come back, have your lunch. And Nimai, while going to Ganges, he said, okay, I am leaving the puppy here. Don't make sure he stays here. And when Nimai left, the little more details of the story. Shachi Mata wasn't home when Nimai brought that puppy home. And these boys who got angry with Nimai, they were leaving. They were not playing with Nimai. And they were leaving, and on the way they saw Shachi Mata. And they tell Shachi Mata, what your son has done, he has taken a puppy home. So Shachi Mata came home running. And she saw Nimai playing with the puppy. And then she was angry that you're a son of a Brahmin. How can you bring dogs home? So then she said, okay, you go take bath in Ganges, and the lunch is ready. I come have lunch, and then you play with the puppy. So when Nimai went, she let the puppy go. She just untied the puppy and let it go. And when Nimai came back after bathing, and he was looking for puppy, and Shachi Mata said, oh, he must be around here somewhere. I didn't see. I got busy with cooking. And Nimai did not find that pup. And he was very upset. And Shachi Mata, just like any mother, okay, right now you eat your lunch, and then afterwards we'll go look for the puppy. But this puppy, because Nimai had played with him, Nimai had put him on his shoulders, and he had carried him and lovingly, and they had fun together. This puppy, when Shachi Mata ran him out, he came to the street of Navdeep, little puppy. And then, because of the ecstasy of being touched by Nimai, he was standing on his behind paws, and his front paws were up in the air, and he was doing kirtan. He was chanting and dancing, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra and dancing. And all the Navadvip Vasis in the market, they saw after a while chanting, dancing, he fell down dead. He was in so much of ecstasy. He just fell down dead. And when he fell down dead, right away, an aeroplane came from Vaikuntha, and the Vishnu Dutas came, and they put that puppy's body on their airplane and took him back to Vaikuntha. So much of mercy of Nimai. Even sent that puppy to Vaikuntha. Maybe in his previous lives he performed lots of bhakti, but in this life there was nothing. He didn't do anything except being found by Nimai. And Nimai did all the mercy, played with him, put him on his lap, on his shoulders, carried him, and that's it. This is the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When he got a little older, he became a teacher of grammar, and he was very, very intelligent. And so many people would run away from seeing him because he would ask questions. There were so many devotees. Murari Gupta was one, Mukunda, Gadadhar Pandit, and Nimai would stop them in the market, and he would ask them questions. And they, whatever answer they would give, suppose Nimai would put an argument based on the scriptures, and whatever the answer the other person would give, Nimai would defeat his answer and defeat his own argument and establish another argument. And then the person would be bewildered, yes, whatever you're saying is true. And then Nimai would defeat his own argument, his own conclusion, and establish another conclusion based on scriptures. And then the person would say, yes, that is true. That is very much true. Yes. And then Nimai would defeat, or he would say, no, this conclusion is not right. And then he would re-establish the very first conclusion that he had given. And then people would be bewildered. Oh, it's just too much to argue with Nimai based on scriptures. And like that, one day, a big scholar came to their village. His name was Keshav Kashmiri. And Keshav Kashmiri was a Digvijay Pandit. Digvijay means he had established his victory, his knowledge, his scholarship all over. He had heard of these scholars in Navadvip because Navadvip at that time was a high seat of learning. So many scholars there of all kinds of branches of Vedas. So Digvijay Pandit, he came over there, and when something like Digvijay Pandit would come, there would be so many singers and dancers going in the front and announcing the arrival of Digvijay Pandit. So when these people came and they made the announcement, all these scholars and now they were afraid that if we lose to Digvijay Pandit, so what used to happen, that if they lose to some other scholar, the scholar would take all the property, not just the certificate. They would take all the property. So all the scholars of Navadvip, they were very afraid that nobody has defeated Digvijay Pandit. And if he comes here, not only our reputation is gone, all our money, all our property, everything is gone. Everything will be gone. So then they made a plan that let him first do this argument with Nimai Pandit. And if he defeats Nimai, we'll say, oh, you just defeated a little boy of our village. So what's the big deal? So come, discuss with us. And if by chance Nimai defeats him, then he will say, oh, you got defeated by little boy of our village? Oh, wait till you have argued with us, but you have already been defeated, so go away. So Digvijay Pandit came, and Nimai was on the banks of Ganges with his students, and they met there. So Digvijay Pandit asked, "Who are you?" And Nimai told him, "I'm Nimai, just a teacher of Veda." And Digvijay Pandit said, "I have heard about you. There you are a very learned teacher." Nimai very humbly said, "No, I'm not very learned. I'm just a little teacher. You are a very learned scholar, and this and that." And then Nimai glorified. Nimai said, "You're such a big scholar, and here is Mother Ganges. Why don't you compose something in glory of Mother Ganges and tell us, teach us something here?" So Digvijay Pandit said, "Oh, this is nothing. This is very simple." So he composed 100 verses right then and there, 100 all new verses right then and there in the glorification of Mother Ganges. And he spoke all these verses to Nimai. And Nimai just looked at him. He heard all the shlokas, all the beautiful verses. Nimai said, "Oh, this is so wonderful. You have spoken so nicely, so eloquently about glories of Mother Ganges. And there are many, many good points, but many faults also in your composition." And when Digvijay Pandit or Keshav Kashmiri heard faults, he said, "Faults in my composition? There is no way." Nimai said, "Let me tell you." Nimai said, first he told all the good points, that they were really outstanding points in the composition. And then he came to the faults. So I'm not a scholar to remember all the faults. Just one point that I remember is that Digvijay Keshav Kashmiri glorified Ganges, and he said he used the word Bhavani Bhartu to speak about Lord Shiva, that you come from you come on the head of Lord Shiva and then you come down from there. So he used the word Bhavani Bhartru. Bhartru means maintainer, Bhavani means Durga Ji or Parvati. So Nimai caught him there. He said Bhavani, the word Bhavani means the husband of, no, I'm sorry. Bhavani means the wife of Lord Shiva. Yeah. So Bhav means Lord Shiva. So Bhavani means a wife of Lord Shiva. And what you are saying is maintainer of the wife of Lord Shiva. So is that somebody else? And other points Nimai Pandit made. And when Keshav Kashmiri heard that, and all the boys started laughing, and Nimai said, no, don't laugh. He's a great scholar. He just made mistakes, that's all. And when Keshav Kashmiri heard that, he said, how in the world is this possible? I spoke those verses like a wind, Janjavat. And how come you heard them, you remembered them, and you found mistakes in my composition? So Nimai said, just like you're good in composing, I'm good at listening. I'm a Shrutidhara. Anything I hear, I always remember. Anyway, that's for the Supreme Lord, what is impossible. So Nimai said, well, I think you're very tired. You must be hungry also. You should go home or wherever you're staying, and then we'll meet again tomorrow. So Keshav Kashmiri went back to that place where he was staying, and then he prayed to Saraswati in the evening, and he prayed. They said, always you help me. This was your benediction. And but today you did not help me. How come? And Saraswati appeared. Saraswati said, the person you today had Shastrarth with or argument with, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We all are his servants. So this was actually my benediction to you, that you finally came in contact with him. You had discussion with him. And there's no way could have defeated him. So tomorrow you go and take shelter of his lotus feet, because this was our benediction, that you came to his lotus feet. So Keshav Kashmiri, he could not sleep all night, and then next morning he went and met Nimai Pandit, fell down at his lotus feet and begged for forgiveness. And Nimai just picked him up. You did wonderful, and he said he just became proud of his scholarship. So scholarship should make one humble, not proud. And then Keshav Kashmiri left. Actually, everybody comes to serve the Lord when the Lord incarnates. And this Keshav Kashmiri was actually Nimbarkacharya. So Nimai had given him this service, that you will come as Keshav Kashmiri, you will be defeated mine, but that will be perfection of your appearance. So anyway, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of pastimes of Nimai. We are running short of time. So we'll stop here, see anybody has any questions or comments.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very nice.
Thank you, Mata.
बोलो गौर हरि की जय.
Gaur Hari ki.
Yeah. So anyway, you can read more today and or hear more. There will be so many lectures and classes going on all over. And just think of Lord Chaitanya. That's all.
Yes, Prabhuji will do that.
Yeah. Somebody was saying something. Sorry, I cut you off.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I want to say 1 hour of trance. Please don't stop is what I wanted to say, but I know I'm running out, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you all. You all
it
have
was so nectarian. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
You all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna,
Jai
Prabhuji.
Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Jai Shri